So I will let you present yourself first.
Okay, so hi, I'm Iris Shoor. I'm the CEO of Oribi. I'm a serial entrepreneur, so this is my third company. Each company was very different. The first one was around 3D modeling and was acquired by Autodesk. And the second one was for developers and DevOps, growing, still doing well. I'm very much a product and marketing person. So marketing has always been my passion. And I'm very excited to have this company to develop a tool for marketers and to help marketing analytics.
My first question is, I know from my point of view as a marketer, I'm also a marketer. You know, we manage a big community with entrepreneurs and founders and a lot of marketers also. Why is better than Google Analytics? Because I know the answer, but I want you to answer in front of our community. Why is better than Google Analytics or Oribi?
Sure. So I just mentioned that this is my third company. When I started Oribi, I actually started with a question mainly for myself. Well, how come it's so hard to answer the very, very basic questions that all companies ask? So I was always wondering how come to answer questions like what is unique about people that purchase on the website, how each channel really performs, what is the correlation between different marketing activities, is always about using lots of developers and lots of very heavy tools. And how come if all of us ask like the same 10, 20 questions, there isn't a simple tool to do it? And that's why I decided to build Oribi. And when I asked myself, what is the main barrier today and how come most of the tools are complex, because I'm sure that there is no like product person at any one of these companies that that okay, we need to have it super complex and to make people life more challenging. The answer was that today all of these tools are very much relied on developers using code, and these are usually resources that marketers don't have. If you're an SMB, you don't have developers. If you're larger companies, usually they don't have any resources for marketing, or you need to wait a while. So what's very different about Oribi is this entire concept is to give full independence to marketers. So we create the entire customer journey, customer data in a codeless way. We understand what users do. Then it's much easier to ask questions because you have all the data. And we have lots of focus on great user experience, answering the main questions in a simple way, good UI, and that's the main difference.
Okay, but I know you have some buyer journey on the tool, yeah?
Yeah.
How it works?
Yeah.
How it works, this buyer journey?
Yeah, definitely. So one thing that we're trying to do at Oribi is to have both aggregated data and both individual data. I think it's super important because like on one hand, you're always trying to understand how people that arrive from Facebook are behaving as opposed to people coming from Google and so on. But on the other hand, you do want to really understand people. And I think one way to do it is to view videos of how people are using the website, but it takes so long. So there are great tools like Full Story and Hotjar and so on. But I think that no marketer has like an hour a day to view how people are actually using the website.
Maybe more.
Yeah. And what we do at Oribi, like one of the key features is to actually view all the actions that across different sessions that specific visitors performed on your website. So instead of viewing the entire video, you can see that a specific user entered via Facebook, for example, viewed this page, hit these actions, then came back a few days later, then only then signed up, and so on. It can be with email identification, and then you can really understand who is this user, or you can leave all the data anonymized. But you can actually see how customers are behaving and to do it in a few minutes a day, and to filter according to different, like you want to see only people that purchase a certain item or people that didn't purchase a certain, that didn't purchase, for example. And you can also do it in an aggregated view. So you can also see like the entire funnel and see different audiences and sections and how they behave.
I see. I had a call with one of your colleagues and they show me on the platform, ask any question section.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's any question. We're not there yet, but one feature that was very important for us is, and I guess this is what you're referring to, is the correlation feature. So I think like one of the main things that we're trying to ask ourselves as marketers is what is the impact of each action? So let's say, for example, that you write content and usually you'll measure only how many people read your content, but you really want to see if people that read your content are more likely to buy and by how much, or you want to understand if you've just changed the homepage and you added a new video, are people that viewed the video are more likely to purchase? And what we do over there, so you're able to match every two events. So you can say like, do people that read content, enter my community, viewed video, visited a certain page are more likely or less likely to purchase, to sign up, to engage with my content. We could also do it across different sessions. So it might be that someone read your blog, but only like 3 weeks later decided to sign up. And you can see if there is a real impact for different parts of your marketing and different parts of the website.
I see. I also realized that from my point of view, I don't know, it is the first web analytic platform with support, with account manager support, because I don't know any other web analytic platform that offer you support to understand how to use the product, how to convert better, what page convert better and stuff.
Yeah. So another reason that made me start Oribi is that I think today there's like a huge gap in the world of marketing analytics, unlike other tools in which you can find tools that are self-served, low touch, high touch, and so on. With marketing analytics, there are lots of amazing enterprise-oriented tools like Salesforce and Adobe and so on, in which you'll have an account manager, but you'll also need to work on integrations for like 3 months and pay a few $100,000 a year. And this means that it's not suitable for most people. And then you have Google Analytics. And people use it in lots of different ways. And some people use it in a super basic way, but most people use it in a pretty advanced way. And you can't really call Google. So we're really trying to create this like new level of marketing analytics that is still very affordable. The integration is super simple, but you do have some onboarding calls. We have this amazing team of conversion experts. So they're not, their purpose is not just about helping people to understand Oribi. It's more about understanding marketing analytics, how to measure things right. If they see a certain drop, a certain change in the conversion rate, they will help them understand why using Oribi or other ways. And so that's something that is super important for us, because I think that one challenge is to get the technical aspect right. But I think that for many companies, they're not sure how to measure, for example, like email marketing. What should be the basic metrics that they should measure? So for many companies, it's about the technology, but also about the education of how to do marketing analytics right. And usually after like 2-3 hours, they get it, they build the right forms, they know what to measure.
So Oribi team, it's also like our teachers in marketing, in a way or another, right?
Yeah, that's my that was part of my vision. I think that the great companies that they look up to are not just about their product; it's also about being like market experts and helping customers to understand the problem better.
Regarding automated reports, do you think you can automate with Oribi reports that we normally spend hours in Google Analytics and other tools? You can do it automatically and you will have the same results in a way or another?
Yeah, so when we launched Oribi, we didn't have the report feature yet. And one thing that we heard over and over again is how much people hate spending time on building the same report 1 week after another. So I think that as marketers, we love to do the actual job and to create stuff and to even measure it, but we hate spending time working on reports, only to send them to colleagues or to clients. And that's one of the main features that we developed. So we have this customized reports. You can select which metrics you want to show. You can customize the design, and you can send it every week or every couple of days. You can have like this closed email list. And this is something marketing agencies use a lot, but also other clients. And yes, again, I think that is one of the parts of the day-to-day marketing that most people would like to avoid, and we help them to reduce it from a few hours a week to a few minutes.
How hard is to implement Oribi in our website?
Mm-hmm.
How hard?
So it should be super simple. That was one of the main goals at Oribi. You do need to add a script to your website once. We don't have a way to track it without it. So if you're using Shopify or WordPress, it's a plugin. So you don't need to use code at all. You just add the plugin and Oribi starts running. And if you're using different types of websites, you need to add a script like Google Analytics or Facebook Pixel only once. That's it. You don't need to update it. And then we start mapping all the data. And from this moment on, you don't need any access to the website and don't need help of developers at all.
Regarding the price, what is the minimum budget a company need to have in order to use Oribi?
So the minimum package is around $400 a month. I would say like the typical price is around like $600, $700 a month, depends on the traffic and the packages that you select. I do want to highlight that and maybe some of the listeners think, oh, this is pretty high, and maybe Google Analytics is free, even if I need to work on it. Really try to think how much marketing budget it can save you. And that's the significant thing that we see with most of our clients, that if you're able to increase the conversion rate, even by 0.1%, it's usually worth like a few hundred or a few $1,000s a month. And I think it's also like a very, I would say it's a very sane state of mind, not to think of like how much you pay, but more about how to optimize your marketing budget, where to invest, what's working, what doesn't work.
You know what is funny? It's also, let's say, free to work. But if you want to go from Los Angeles to New York, you need a car, and the car is expensive. That's the difference. You can work, but it takes a lot. It's the same. Probably with a free version of Google Analytics, we can have this data in 5 years from now if we work very hard. But when Oribi save us a lot of time, because it's also about saving time, right?
Yeah, definitely. I think that you can do similar things with Google Analytics, but you'll probably need to invest the same amount of money, or probably even more, on developers and customization and deep analysis. And we're really trying to save all of this.
Yeah. Also, you can find the restaurants walking on the street, not searching on Google, right? It's the same thing.
Yeah, definitely.
But we really need to use technology in order to have a better life, right? Why not? Technology is there. We just need to use it. Mm-hmm. Right now, if you can share the best advice in business, you know, and you can share with the community, the best advice you know for an entrepreneur, for a founder.
I would say the best advice, and it's hard to follow, is to stay focused. I think it's always so easy to get different temptations around, like there's like this really interesting deal and we just need to create this feature, and let's create this another sub product, and let's create this new content and so on. And something that you really learn from one year to another. And as I mentioned, it's really challenging because there are always like tempting opportunities and you're never sure what is the right one. But to be really laser focused, I think that even now that the team is pretty large, there's still so much effort in getting things done in a great way. So I'm really trying to focus on less features, try to polish the existing features instead of creating new ones, and trying to focus on the main marketing channels that work well, and optimizing them rather than opening new marketing channels. So it's really much about like doing less things and doing them great.
So from my point of view, Oribi will be an unicorn if it's not yet. And
not yet.
Not yet. It's a good. And this is an advice for our community before Oribi is an unicorn. So we will have this video on our YouTube channel, and people can understand that you talk about focus before you were a unicorn, because after you have a unicorn, everybody wants to listen what you want to say.
Yeah.
But before, it's important what your opinion about a different subject, but not as important after you have a unicorn. But from my point of view, it's just a matter of time.
Thank you.
No?
I think so. I think that also, like, I really feel that, like, every time we speak with clients or prospects or people that are trying out a product, and it really hits a huge pain. I think that today, like, everybody wants to be data-driven, even people that are not crazy about numbers and tables and so on, but everybody wants to understand if there is a real impact to what they're doing. And today, it's really hard to answer it with other tools.
I see. What's the last question is, what's the best customer for you? A small company, a medium company, a large company?
I would say that it's a medium company. Small companies might not have enough traffic or enough marketing channels to really analyze the results. So, for example, if you have like if you're like an e-commerce company and you have only like 50 purchases a month, it's pretty hard. It's possible, but it's harder to analyze the impact of each marketing activity. Enterprise companies or very large companies usually do have some solutions in place. So the ideal companies are usually like mid-sized companies. They have marketing teams and they spend on acquisition and content and social, so on. But today it's hard for them to measure it, and Oribi can really help them with it.
Thank you very much for your time. I wish you best
Thank
luck.
you.
We will talk again after Oribi is a unicorn.
It's a date.
Thank you very much. I wish you a fantastic day.
Thank you.
Bye now.
Thank you. You too.